alive in two places at once. It's just like a proper expression of multi-place consciousness.
I love it.
Well, I'm sure people that are joining will just join. If you come in, you can come back to the start. But it's Benny here, and I'm here with Zhara. I'm stoked to be here today. We're really talking about hydration, particularly intracellular hydration, which is a term that Zhara's taught me since I've known her, and movement. And one thing, I love the body. We love the body at Movement Monk. Well, why wouldn't you? And movement is a big part of our medicine that we share. With all sorts of different practices to support the connecting of the body, to support the capacity of the body, and support it aging more gracefully. But it's a small part of a bigger pie. And hydration, we're predominantly water and bacteria, and so I thought it'd be really good to have Zhara in today and have a conversation around that. Around the importance of hydration, how it can support the body at a range of different levels. Zhara's just got a wealth of knowledge, and I love her as a human being, but she really walks the talk. I consider her to be a pioneer in the area of hydration. I got into all of this since Emoto's work, and just the power of intention and water, and how that is affected through intention.
Yes.
And since we've had conversations, it's piqued my interest a whole nother level about just the importance of the water we take in. And I didn't even realize, even though I've been having spring water for such a long time, that is not necessarily fully hydrating us at a cellular level.
Yes.
And so maybe I'll just hand over to you, because you've got so much good stuff to share on this.
Just first of all, I'm really excited to be here, and I'm so thankful that Benny has brought me on, because this is my passion. This is what I really, for some reason, I just understand it. I get it. We are water, right? So we've been taught that we're about 2/3 water, 60 to 70% based on where we're at in our life. But really what leading edge science is showing us now is that we're actually at a molecular level 99% water molecules. So 99%. So there is a reason.
1% ego.
Yeah, and they say over 99%. So it's probably 0.2% ego, and then maybe 0.1% bacteria, and then the rest we're water molecules, right? And so water actually is a huge basis. It's our foundation for life. It's the foundation for life. Everything else that we do on top of that, whether that's the movement, whether that's nutrition, whether that's the mind, the spiritual, the emotional work that we do, everything comes down to what we're building our foundations on. And seeing that we're 99% molecularly water, the quality of the water that we drink is vastly important. And so when we're looking at the quality of the water that we drink, a lot of us have just been in this space where we know, okay, there's toxins coming out of tap water, there could be fluoride or chlorine, so I'm going to go with filtered water, right? And so that's kind of the first stage of getting awake to the type of water you drink. And then when you get to that stage, this is what I did years ago. I just said, oh, I'm great, everything's good, I've got filtration, no need to go anymore.
Got a good reverse osmosis.
Yes.
I took all the nasty stuff out.
Yes. So that's, then we're solid. But what we haven't actually been aware of is mineral content, right? And then some people start to wake up to, okay, let's do spring water, because in spring water we're getting minerals that we're maybe not getting in our soil, and it's coming from a pure spring rather than from town water source. And so then people get onto the spring water, and that's even better, and we're doing an even better job of getting some sort of better quality water in our bodies. What I've discovered over the past couple of years is there's a whole other level, and it's called intracellular hydration, where actually you can drink as much water as you want, whether that's from your $5,000 filtration device or whether that's from the spring. But as long as if it's not getting intracellularly it's not making a difference with hydration. It needs to pass through the cell wall, and when you can get that, then you have the basis for hydration. Because hydration is, look, it's everything. It's actually, it removes the toxic waste from your body. It allows flow. If you don't have flow, I mean, this is what you teach. You teach flow. You teach that innate movement and that innate wisdom of the body. And we're just coming back to this realization that, wow, we have got a flow from our very foundations, and it's water. And it's water. So what I discovered was this primordial mineral, right? And this primordial mineral, actually, when it combines with water, it allows the cells to take in the water. And it's not just water, it's minerals. Minerals and water go hand in hand. And so then you have to look at, with intracellular hydration, you've got to look at quality of water, quality of minerals. So Benny's tried the formula that we put together, which is really all it is Mother Nature's gifts. It's a primordial mineral from a volcanic sulfate source. And what happens when you combine it with water, Mother Nature does her job. And Mother Nature actually removes, the minerals actually remove any toxic compounds, toxic substances from your water source. So if it's tap water, for example, it's going to take sodium fluoride, and make it and convert it into calcium fluoride, so toxic to non-toxic. So it's literally just taking all these toxic substances, and if it's available to shift from a molecular standpoint, it will. But then if it's lead, or if it's something that's just ready to actually become inert, that happens as well. So you can actually see all this sediment fall out to the bottom of your container, to the bottom of your jar. And then what you have is you actually have living water. So what Lifefx does is it actually makes any fresh water living water. And it's not doing it through some sort of man-made process, it's doing it through Mother Nature herself, because Mother Nature knows how to take care of the environment, the earth, and she also knows how to take care of us. And we're just getting back to our innate wisdom, our innate roots. So what we've seen with a lot of people who start using Lifefx is what happens is they feel hydrated for the first time in their life. And it's brilliant, because then you have flow. You have flow. You have a foundation to actually do that movement that you so badly want to do. You have the foundation to be able to be in a space where you're building from that. From a solid foundation, right? You've got all the other blocks you put on top are not on just a wobbly surface, but you've got solidity, and it's funny because it's water's not solid at all, but that's what it's providing. It's providing this solid foundation to go forth. So does that make sense?
Yeah. I remember if I could share like a little story.
Yes, would love to.
When we first met, I remember you had the thing I resonated with you was, even before I'd met you, I saw all these little jars that you had around your house, and you were testing the minerals.
Yes.
And I was looking at it, I didn't fully understand it at the time, and looking at the sediment that had come out of the water from adding the minerals, and so I was like instantly interested. I'm like, this person's like a mad scientist in a way, and I think the madness in me saw the madness in you. Yes. But so I started taking it because I had my body, I've learned, like, can build up a lot of heat. That's something that I need to be aware of when I'm not fully in alignment with myself. And so that manifested, I had some stuff happening around my eyes, and it was like an irritation. It just was hanging around for a long time. And so I initially started to, because you were talking about that and just how it helps clean the body and all of that sort of stuff, and I was seeing it clean it in the water, and I was wondering, okay, what's going to happen then when that gets introduced into my body, and how's that going to take out the things and make it in a structure that it can then pass out.
Yes.
And anyway, my eyes got completely better within, I think, probably a few weeks. I was taking a bit higher dosage than normal. I like to experiment, and but there wasn't any side effects. It was just like I don't know, it was almost like I felt like an energy shot in a way. It's like, whoa, something. The thing that I love is that through working with the body for a long time, you cultivate this awareness, so then you don't need to just like trust on what's on the label. You can take something in and feel it, and that, to me, when you take something and you feel it vibrationally and how that affects you, that's a sign that we're onto something really positive. And so, but the thing that I didn't expect was when I'd go into my stretching practices and all of that sort of stuff, it was almost like the tissue felt more springy. And what I understand about fascia and all of that sort of stuff, it loves to slide and glide and play with other tissues. And like, I didn't expect these things, and it's something that I really appreciate. And so, like, bringing it into the context for, I like to move my body, like being in nature. Here we are at this beautiful spot, and just feel this sense of like my body is in alignment with my environment.
Yes.
Like, also, like, I think maybe it's useful to mention that minerals, we're not getting them as much as we used to. It's not coming from our food as much. It's being pulled out of the soil through all sorts of different aggressive farming techniques that are just taking.
Yes.
And just this notion of bringing back the life force into the body. We talk about it through the breath. If you like, the breath's only going to enhance what's already there. We need to start to bring more of these natural elements inside of us.
Yes.
And these are the things that I think about when I think about Lifefx. And it's easy, like, it's just so easy to use, though.
It's so easy. You just literally, any water that you have, whether that's tap or filtered or spring, you just add it to it, 1 ml per 1 liter. And it's like, I really appreciate hearing all of that, Benny, because I hear it from so many different customers. And once they feel that real intracellular hydration, you can't really go back, because you're like, oh my goodness, this is what I've been missing my entire life. And it really just comes down to the fact that we're onto solutions now. Mother Nature, when we go back to Mother Nature and we get back to roots, we have the solutions in front of us. So it's sort of like, I was reading something a little while ago where they had analyzed and worked out all the compounds, what's made up of a blade of grass. Yes.
But so it showed how sophisticated nature is in its natural form, yet we don't have the technology to make a blade of grass.
Yes.
So, and I was like, well, why would you make it anyway? It's there. Like, we've got it. We can bring all of these powerful things that are already there. We don't need to artificially separate them and bring in this mineral and that mineral. Let's bring it in their natural forms where they play together, and like, let the sophistication of nature just work itself out in us. Take out what's not in alignment. And that right there is that is the core of it. Is that this is Mother Nature doing her innate job, because minerals, they come from volcanic sulfate, and what they do is they clean the environment. They're cleaning the land, they're cleaning the water, and by the time they reach us, they've done their job. They've lost their primordial power, and so we're getting these really special minerals from one particular source, and it's a source where Mother Nature's pure gift is sitting there, and it's available for us. So I'm really excited about it, to reach more people, because this is my passion. It's like, get this to the people, because we need it. We're in a state where we've been so disconnected from nature. We need to go back to the wisdom that is already here, rather than manufacturing anything else. The wisdom is here. Let's get back to it. Well, I think, like, that's kind of the basics. I was saying to Zhara earlier that we'll keep jumping on. We'll have more conversations. Like, Zara's got, this is like the tip of the iceberg. There,
I know, and I was trying to, okay, stay at the tip, don't overwhelm.
There's so much, it's sort of like, it's wonderful because I'm just so interested in the body and what it is to be a human being and all the other things that connect to us that we can't always kind of perceive with our physical senses. And Zhara looks at that from the perspective of water and so much more. You've got so much other cool stuff coming on. So I recommend follow Zhara in all of her projects. And like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say, what we say about Lifefx. Feeling is understanding. And Zhara's been kind enough to give us a discount, and so you can go into our bio. We've got a button there. You just click that button. It's automatically applied. Give it a try, and like we'd love to hear how you experience it in the context of like how's your body feeling, how's that helping you in physical practices, and maybe just like how you feel as a being. And I'm sure if you've got any questions, you can reach out with Zhara as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
absolutely. And let me just chime in on that. Please reach out with questions if you have them. Our website really has a wealth of information.
Yeah.
Lots of videos. I do a lot of videos, and there's a lot of FAQ. And our Instagram and our Facebook have additional information, just videos of people who use it, and then more little videos I'll do when I get a little insight. Oh, we need to talk about this. But if something's not answered or you have a question particular to you, definitely give us a call. But I do want to just note something that Benny was saying is what he experienced with his eyes. Your body will do what it needs to do when it gets the right water. So Lifefx doesn't cure, diagnose, treat, like any of that. This is literally your body having the innate wisdom to do what it needs to do. So everyone's very different, but it all comes down to intracellular hydration. Tip of the iceberg right there.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Zhara.
you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, all right. We'll see you guys again.
See you, everyone, and see you at our next one. Ciao for now.
How do we turn it off?